Heartbeat Alaska is made possible by the following. By Coca-Cola, serving Alaska quality soft drinks since 1937. By Cook Inlet Region Incorporated, an Alaska Native corporation promoting economic and social progress for people throughout the state.
And by the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute, educating consumers and promoting sales of Alaska seafood throughout the U.S. and in international markets.
Is in the air. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother. Are you too cool to care?
Welcome to Heartbeat Alaska. I'm Jeannie Green. Thank you for joining us for more Native news and entertainment. Hello to our new viewers. I received a telephone call from Mr. Doyle Davis from Ensenada, Mexico. He says hello to all his friends in Fairbanks, Alaska. Thank you so much for watching. On today's program, we traveled to the Siberian Yupik village of Savoonga, Alaska, located on the remote St. Lawrence Island in the Bering Sea. We have new music, videos, all that plus much more. But first, here's Gary Fife with Native news across the nation.
There's a heartbeat coming up from deep down under. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother.
This is Native News Across the Nation. I'm Gary Fife. An Idaho tribe's plan for a national lottery has been stuck at the U.S. Department of Justice, awaiting that department's approval before proceeding. Now the Coeur d'Alene tribe may not get the backing of the Office of Tribal Justice or even its help. Office Director Herbert Becker has been saying that they were unsure about the legality of the tribe conducting such a lottery, and they have not taken any stance yet. The idea of a national lottery run by the Coeur d'Alenes has been meeting mounting opposition from numerous states' attorneys generals. The Cultural Committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe of South Dakota says it is offended by the production of a movie about the life of famed Oglala warrior and spiritual leader Crazy Horse, Tashunka Witko. Indian Country Today reported that there are actually 2 such movies being produced right now, but Thunder Nations Productions and author David Seals has drawn fire from the Lakota group. The tribal group says the movie makers fail to follow tribal protocols, which requires consultation, and that Thunder Nations is exploiting the name of Crazy Horse. The script for another movie on the same warrior by Ted Turner's TNT Productions is now being reviewed by the Oglala Committee. The chairman of the Oklahoma Choctaw Nation is under investigation for sexual assaults against 3 female tribal employees. Principal Chief Hollis Roberts is being investigated by a federal grand jury that has already heard from former tribal employees who are alleging that the chief acted improperly on several occasions during business hours. As the restructuring is being conducted at the Institute for American Indian Arts in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a new and slimmer administration is taking shape. Among changes by new President Perry Horse are the reduction of the administrative staff and putting the school's museum and research center under control of the academic program. One other need demanded by the student body is the addition of a security director and tightening of security to ensure student safety. 4 northwestern tribal leaders have come up with a plan to save dwindling stocks of salmon in northwestern rivers, put the fish back in the rivers where they belong. That was the simple message of the tribal leaders, but they also recognized the complexities of the efforts needed to restore the disappearing fish. Among other suggestions were changing various state and federal management plans and transferring control of several fish programs and hatcheries to tribal control. While most of their plans focus on salmon, other species are included, and the costs shown are comparable to other state and federal plans being considered, they say. And finally, the Kiowa tribe of Oklahoma is trying to regain a warrior shield belonging to Saintanta, one of the last of their war chiefs. Descendants of the Kiowa warrior are trying to honor their grandfather by bringing home his sacred sun shield, now in the collection of the Phoebe Hearst Museum at the University of California at Berkeley. So far, the museum has refused the Kiowa requests. The Chief Saintanta Descendants Group is trying for years, and now with the passage of the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, they're hoping to find a solution. Using language of the law as an inspiration, the Kiowas are trying to get the shield sent to a local Oklahoma museum under terms of a permanent loan. This is Native News Across the Nation. For Heartbeat Alaska, I'm Gary Fife.
My name's Jeannie too, and I watch Heartbeat Alaska every Sunday.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Hi, my name is David Moore. I live in Eagle River, and I watch Heartbeat Alaska.
Hi, I'm Leroy Jones, and I watch Heartbeat Alaska. I especially like the music. It's a great program.
Hi, my name is Marlene Murphy, and I come from Heartbeat Alaska. And I like watching the Heartbeat Alaska show.
Hi, my name is Jessica Prince, and I'm from Nageak, and I like to watch Heartbeat Alaska.
Thanks, girls.
Hi, Jeannie!
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll try and put you on, okay? If this tape works out. Part of the fun of bringing you Native News is introducing you to our different cultures, our different villages, the people and the way they live. One example of that is the documentary that we produced here at Heartbeat Alaska Studios. The name of it is Knowing Something Different. The Siberian Yupiks on St. Lawrence Island indeed know something different. Their way of life is itself a science.
Sakia lives in Savoonga, Alaska, located on the remote St. Lawrence Island in the Bering Sea.
Yeah. I have to work a little bit.
The native people who live here practice traditional hunting and gathering as they have for thousands of years. Materials for their boats, their clothing, and housing depended upon the environment.
Oh, right, like that. 1 day dry. Last night I put it outside. 1 day dry.
The St. Lawrence Islanders once wore waterproof parkas made from the intestines of the walrus, and boots and mittens were made from sealskin just as today. The surrounding land and sea provide food. In one time long ago, that food was taken away. In the 1850s, the Yankee whalers appeared. The destruction of the bowhead whales plus bad weather led to the starvation of 1,500 St. Lawrence Islanders in the winters of 1878 to 79, reducing the population by 75%. Today, the 550 people of Savoonga face a new challenge. Regulations and laws from the state and federal governments that affect their traditional hunting and gathering. Cooperation between the two worlds is their answer.
Well, we've been burned in the past, you know, without being part of the solution, if you will. So we've learned in the past to cooperate with the federal government or the state government for that matter. I think it has helped us in the long run. It makes us be aware of what the federal government is doing and the state government. So if nothing else, you know, we've been able to work together closer.
Working together is the native way. Learning the Western ways while maintaining traditional ways has reinforced the scientific value of both environmental perspectives. In 1992, the first of 3 summer workshops began. The Subsistence Science and Video Project was developed to help high school students in Savoonga come to understand the world from both their subsistence-based science and Western science. Through these workshops, the elders, students, and college instructors all came to understand the world through a variety of ways.
No, this possibly came from the second lagoon, big lagoon.
The native people of Savoonga know that in today's world, they can only benefit by this Western science, although it is a knowledge that looks at their world differently. The native people's science is based on knowing something different about their world.
The elders used to be, in our society, the real true leaders. They ruled with an iron fist, and because of that wisdom in how they lived through life and experiencing it, the elders were the real say in how a community's social structure was like. The elders seem to be the one greatest resource in our society now that is not fully utilized. And we need to tap into that resource because their wisdom and experience and what we can learn from them would be used to a fully extent.
It's got to have the juice on.
Okay, we did the pH, which is measured acid, which is about 5, meaning it's more a base instead of an acid.
This is from a vein within the granites. The granites are the type of rock we have on the west part of the island. On the east, we have the leverite, kind of black scrunchy stuff. And on the west, we have granites, intrusive rocks, rocks that were once liquid, but unlike lava, they never burst through to the surface, so they crystallize right underneath the surface. And here we can see some molybdenite in this, which is a metal. It has molybdenum and sulfur, and it's used to make industrial minerals. And you see, it's the kind of aluminum foily looking type material on here. And large enough.
Kam unami, student in 1 o'clock at Kakasi. Because tomorrow's the last day. You're going to do a student roundtable with 4 elders.
Over a 3-year period, summer workshops gave students hands-on experience. Their environment became the work lab. The earth, the water, the marine and plant life were analyzed. To a certain degree, the workshops themselves were an experiment. All too often, Western culture is seen as working against and subverting local control of resources. Learning more about their environment facilitates communication with the outside world.
Why is that there?
They're making a rock. It's called bleach sealskin.
Even if there's a special scientific way about management. We still know that our goal is not to deplete all the stock that we utilize, like the walrus and the seal and the fish. We've got monitors who are ignorant. They just come here with their data books. Oh, you didn't bring 3 flippers. Or you brought only 2 kidneys and you caught 6 walrus. You have to be fined a certain number of dollars for wasteful take of walrus. And there were several instances at Campbell that took place this spring. Somebody incidentally shot some kind of a duck, and they were fined $150. And it wasn't even the specific duck that is being protected.
You know, white people use rulers. My little finger is a ruler for the middle.
Native traditional teaching takes place throughout daily life, not separate in a formal setting. The Subsistence Science Video Project enabled Savoonga elders and college instructors to share knowledge with the students. Scientific knowledge from the Western and traditional perspective.
What I'd like to do with you over the next few days is to teach you some basic ecology, but I want to do it in the context of this environment here at the island, and principally taking advantage of the fact that we have so much knowledge here in the elders. They know way more about the ecology of this island than I ever will. So what I'm hoping we can do is to integrate the scientific approach, traditional approach.
Hunters and scientists ask many questions that seek the same information, such as where are walruses found in spring? Still, there are vast differences in knowledge, and while students were taught the research methods on the ecology of marine mammals, they were reminded through the elders about the vast knowledge the natives already possess.
And this is something that goes over your neck. You know why I made it pretty wide here and thick? So my neck wouldn't get tired. Yeah, put it like that. Fold this up. Today, the young ladies don't do that anymore. I still do that because that's still the easier way to gather greens.
Survival on this remote St. Lawrence Island means using what the environment provides, like plant life, greens, leaves and roots, rich in vitamins and minerals. Savoonga women gather the greens to eat with other native foods, a nutritious addition to their daily diet.
All the greens we pick, like these and other, the leaves, they're good to eat. My mom used to pick everything up and save them for the winter time. We eat them with these with blubber and meat, fresh blubber and fresh meat, and sometimes even preserved blubber. And some different kinds of roots we pick and save for the winter, or you can eat them right away. This is kakakak, and that's good eating with blubber. These are the angokaks. They grow in gravelly places or among the rocks especially, and here in Savoonga they grow on the creeks. These are tipluks that we find almost all over the place. We still do use that for sore throat and vomiting as a medicine. For sore throat or something like that, it numbs your throat and you can eat. Yes.
How do you fix it?
We dry it up.
Life in Savoonga is not always easy. Groceries may cost 3 to 5 times as much as in the city. The residents know outsiders do not always understand their need to live off the surrounding land and sea, that without their traditional hunting and gathering, they could not make it.
Got the so-called Greenpeacers and environmentalists who talk about damaging the environment, and they think that people who are consumers of wildlife, who do it in a graphic way, very graphic manner, and they build up very controversial issues that think that they want to protect the environment and the animals, and then they're looking at these people as people who are disrupting this lifestyle. And then they drive their 14 miles to a gallon gasoline, and all the products in the console are made of plastic, and the four wheels that turn the car are made of rubber that will give out toxic fumes if it's burnt, and if it's not, then it will go to some landfill where there's millions and millions of tires, and they live in a concrete world, and they drink out of styrofoam cups, and something serious is happening to the ozone layer, and they think they have a cause.
It is something to laugh at.
And we are the true conservationists, where we are one with the food cycle. We don't want to disrupt the food cycle and the food chain because we're a part of that ecosystem. We are at the scrutiny of the public's eye of how we kill walrus. The graphic, gory details of blood spurting out of the side of the head with a bullet shot right through the skull. And there's this big mass that's laying on the ice that you normally go feed fish at the San Diego Zoo. Something that you feel, oh, that big blubbery thing. They don't know that we've done this for thousands and thousands of years.
We're looking forward to more video from Savoonga, Alaska. Hello, Kathy Nungwuk and John Waghiyi and many other friends of Heartbeat Alaska located in Savoonga, Alaska. Let's take a moment now and enjoy some Native American music videos.
To
Thank you so much for joining us on Heartbeat Alaska Native News and Entertainment. Like I mentioned before, I really appreciate the phone calls and letters that we receive here at Heartbeat Alaska. In fact, if we haven't said hello to you in your state, give us a call, 907-272-8111. Leave a message, and I promise I personally will call you back, and we'll get the name of your village or your reservation or your city on the air. For Heartbeat Alaska, I'm Jeannie Green. We'll see you again next week.
Switch, partner, switch, 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 switch. Get ready, here we go. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. And swing your partners round and around and around and around and around and around. From the left to the right, from the right to the left, everybody does see do. Yeah! Switch, switch, switch.